All right, raw and uncut. Here we go. My name is James. I haven't done many videos, but hey, gotta start somewhere, right? So, what is this video gonna be about? It's gonna be about online dating. Okay, online dating is great. I'm gonna be one of those guys that tell you how you should do things. Red pill shit. And other kind of advice. I'm kind of a little bit of a regurgitation here, but I'm gonna put my own 2 cents into it, and if you vibe with it, that's great. Glad you can be here. So what do I have to say? Well, I'm gonna say this, okay? For one, online dating can be great for a number of reasons. Passive dating, bam, there you go. Passive dating alone is a huge benefit, to not have to actively seek out and just throw a bait in a digital pond, and then catch all that fish that have some form of interest in you, in theory, right? And then all the way to a date, and you didn't have to approach her on the street. And in most cases, online dating is a lot more successful in its own kind of way when it comes to, versus approaching somebody in person, when they may not actually like you. It's most likely probably going to be a rejection. But that's why we have online dating, because they swipe right on you for some reason. They put interest out there for a reason, so that can kind of help you make some momentum. But with all that said, let me tell you that online dating is not quite like that, okay? Because a lot of people in online dating, they just want attention. They really don't have any intention to do anything with you sometimes. And three, they're just girls. They're fidgety. They're skittish, if that's the right word here that I'm thinking of. They're just girls, you know what I'm saying? So you really have to take everything with a grain of salt. And that's why you have to, even if they like you, even if they swiped right on you, even if you had a great vibe, great conversation, whatever it is, no matter how hot she is, no matter how well you think you guys got along, or how well you think she's taking your messages, let me tell you, girls are still girls. At the end of the day, they're skittish. They're, the ones you're talking to probably are gonna waste your time. So that's just how it is, man. That's just how it is. So there is things we can do on online dating to minimize the bullshit, attract, high interest women. And when I mean high interest, I mean like women that actually are not going to waste your time and they have interest in you. So there's ways to filter other women out to narrow in on those particular girls. So here's the message, okay? If all else fails, at least you have a system to fall on into. Now that's my motto for my life, especially right now. I just moved to a big city for the first time in my life. I'm in Denver, Colorado, and I never lived in a city before. All this shit is new for me. There's a lot of fish in the pond over here. So I need to be on my game. I need to narrow in on my system, and that's gonna save me a lot of time and a lot of headaches. And so that's what I've been doing. A lot of my inspiration comes from a lot of different people. So that's one of my uniqueness that I can contribute here to this space, is I'm kind of a myriad of a lot of people. Maybe people you've listened to, maybe people you haven't listened to, but I get a lot of my ideas from a lot of different places. Ultimately, it is all funneled into this red pill ideology, which for me, it just represents truth. Red pill is just essentially how things are, right? So anyway, so that's my unique perspective that I bring to the table. I'm also in the trenches with you. I'm doing it myself with you. It's not like I'm a big fish in terms of social capital or anything like that. Doesn't mean I won't become one, but it just means that I'm a rising influencer to a degree. I'm not big, I'm small. I am a low-key guy. I have an interesting journey and an interesting life, and I'm 26 years old, and so that's me, okay? But the message I wanted to bring out is the message that I've been meditating on for a while, because it's important, especially when you're in your 20s, to make use of your life, the time that you have, and as much as you can, because time just seems to go faster and faster as you age. So here it is, as I said, when all else fails, at least you have a system to fall into, okay? And that system also applies to dating. No matter, like I said, no matter how well you guys have interacted with each other, you still need to have a set of rules in place. That's just like day trading. If you get a little bit more into day trading, you're gonna realize it's a risk-reward profile based on you. How much risk you're able that you want to put in, and you have these rules to make sure you're in your bounds. You have these boundaries that you set for yourself. So if all else fails, at least you have a system to fall into, because we live in an emotional world. We live in a very feminine society. Look, we need to have rules. As men, we need to have discipline, because that's who we are. So we're gonna have our system, and that's gonna help us a lot in terms of getting our focus in the right place to go where we want to go in life. So what do I mean by this? I mean that here's one of the first main teachings when it comes to online dating, okay? That I can vouch for, because I've talked to so many chicks when it comes to online dating. I failed a lot because I was doing it wrong. And this minor change has helped me a lot. Like, it's no brainer. It has helped me. You know what I'm saying? It has helped my online dating. It's not like I'm a superstar in terms of looks, okay? Like, I'm a pretty good looking guy, as you can see, but I'm not like some of these other fucking guys out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, pretty good looking, but I'm not like, I still have a lot to build upon myself. My hair's fucking messy as hell, I still have a lot of my own game to work on, so I'm all right. But I get my fare when it comes to attention and girls coming to me on online dating and shit. I get my slice of the pie. But what's helped me filter out a lot of bullshit, a lot of time wasted, is making sure you understand how girls are. Okay, like, they're skittish fucking animals. Not to, such a misogynist. Men are fucking wild animals too, man. We're not talking about men though here in this video. We're talking about just how girls are. Generally more skittish. Girls tend to be more abstract. So like, in real life, you interacting with a girl, make momentum, you think she's cute, when you're in a real life situation, that can really escalate, and because you're right there, it's a real tangible experience, which makes it easier for the inherent abstractness of a girl to be into that flow and vibe with you there. But online dating, that's encouraging and emphasizing even more abstractness. It's all digital shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, girls just are using it for attention. It's just way more abstract, so there's way more of a likely chance that, on all realism here, nothing's really gonna happen most of the time. There's a lot of bullshit. Unless you're like top 5%, top 1%, whatever. Look, my video is more for the broad audience. The broad audience is who I'm targeting here, okay? You're not 1%, maybe you're not even top 5%. You're someone kind of like me, that's pretty low key, you're fairly good looking, whatever, okay? I'm talking to you guys. Here's the thing, man. A lot of the time, it's not gonna go anywhere. So here's the lesson. Here's what it's all gonna come down to. Keep your texting minimal. When it comes to communicating with each other on these online dating shit, on whatever platform, I recommend getting her number within 4-5 messages if you can. That's usually what I do when it comes to online dating. You know, you're on Tinder, you're on Hinge, whatever. Those are the big two. Bumble doesn't really do anything for me. I think that's probably mostly for guys that are in the top 5%, maybe top 1%. Bumble's probably good for those guys. But for an average, or maybe more than average kind of a person, low key, whatever, you know, you're just building yourself up, Bumble is just not the best, okay? It's just not great in my opinion. So we got Hinge, we got Tinder. Within 3 or 4 messages, I pretty much grab and transfer them over to actually texting them. Only a few girls are like, oh, I just use Instagram. Those girls are so minor as a group. Like, only a few girls maybe will try that Instagram shit, but typically it's not the case. You know, if you're interested, you're gonna text me, right? You're gonna text me via number. You know, we're not doing Instagram. If you are a high value man and you have Instagram, I recommend the Instagram route. If you are there in that position, I barely have shit on Instagram. I just made it. You know, I'm not focused on that. You know, it's not my way to demonstrate my value. Okay, so that's what we learned. Within 3, 4, 5 messages, you're gonna transfer her over to your real number. Of course, there's tactics for that, there's techniques for that, but that's not the pure purpose of this video. If she doesn't end up texting you, here's something that's gonna happen a lot, is everything's cool, you even set up a date, you gave her your number to make things easier to reach each other, but guess what? She is still skittish and she is hesitant because, again, girls are not action oriented. They're abstract by nature. To think, you know, men are action oriented. You know what I'm saying? So don't expect to be getting action oriented results from women. It's way easier in person, but to expect that on online dating, there's gonna be a lot of bullshit. So again, you give her your number, everything's cool. She doesn't ever text you. Okay, that's another thing that happens. Once you get your number out there to her for her to text you, you know, when it comes to that point, because again, you ain't here to play games. Like, if she's interested, she's gonna fucking text you. Okay, a lot of these girls, that is a barrier, that is a key to filter out the fucking bullshit girls that are just here to waste your time. If she ain't gonna fucking text you, when you give her your number, you set a date, everything, you're cool, but she ain't even texting you via your real number, that's how you know she's just here to bullshit, right? She has low interest in you. So guess what? She's out of here, right? There you go. There's one technique to filter out bullshit. And so that happens a lot. You'd be surprised. Like, everything is cool until you give out your fucking real number. And that's how you know these girls are just fucking being girls. You know, they have low interest for you. They don't care that much. So we're gonna filter them out. Bye-bye, right? Number 2, you know, I kind of already mentioned it, but I just want to emphasize again, keep your text minimal. Make sure you keep everything minimal. I'm a playful guy. Like, I have a certain personality that I like to have fun. I don't want to fucking just stick to boring text because it drives me absolutely bonkers. But you know what? That's my little boy me. When it comes to my big man, you know, who I am, you know, besides my silliness and playfulness, like the real serious me, I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm bantering with you, flirting with you, putting in interesting imagery and fucking having fun with you. Some girls vibe with that, you know, that's cool. A little bit of personality in there, but in the end, it's all bullshit. Like, I don't give a shit, right? That's the big man in me that is, you know, telling the truth. You know, a lot of that shit, just be mindful. You know, think of yourself as two sides. You have the little boy in you and you have the big man in you. Now, based off your actions and behaviors, you know, observe what you do and then maybe reflect and meditate upon it. Like, is that the little me or is that the big me? And then that will help you kind of see your behaviors, see your personality, see your actions, and kind of gauge where they're coming from. Because a lot of us, you know, we still have that fucking kid shit in us, right? You know, a lot of us maybe operate mostly in our fucking little man, you know, our little me. You're not big boy me, right? So that's a technique for you guys to kind of gauge and discern your actions and your behaviors. Because guess what, man? Your actions and behaviors are everything. And girls can pick up on a lot of shit. Girls can pick up on a lot of vibes, body language, you name it. A lot of people can, not just girls. So you need to ensure that you have a sense of awareness and mindfulness on your actions and, you know, your body language and whatnot, okay? So just throwing that out there. That was a helpful trick for me to gauge where my actions are coming from. Yeah, guys, I have a playful, silly, bantery side. But keep that out of text as much as you can. Like, maybe spread a little bit of that shit in there, you know, just to let her know that you are one fucking interesting, silly motherfucker, you know, in terms of, you know, you're an excellent creative writer, whatever. You know, that's cool shit too. But keep that shit out of it as much as you can, okay? It's just not the place. Texting is not the place for that. In-person connections are for that, for your personality. Try to keep your personality a bit minimal in texting. That's gonna help you a lot. That's helped me so much. So I'm just letting you guys know, man. I'm reminding you guys, keep it minimal as much as you can. Right now, your mission in texting and online dating is to set up a date. So you sometimes alternate in terms of like setting up a date within the 3, 4, 5 messages in Tinder or whatever. And then when she kind of narrows in a little bit, then I'll give her my number and see, you know, it's all a bunch of tests, guys. You know, if she don't text me, bye, right? She's not interested. So there's a lot of test when it comes to filtering girls out. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, you know, I set up a date after I give her my number. Sometimes I do that. It just kind of depends on the vibe I get. But basically, just make sure you keep it minimal, okay? Just keep the shit minimal. Keep the text minimal. Because again, most of the time, it's bullshit. They're wasting your time. You know, it's not actually gonna get to results that you want. You know, the girls are having a blast. They're getting attention. Even if they're not gonna do anything with you, like, they're having a great time, they love it. It's not really so much wasted time for them. You know, some of these girls, you know, you fall out of your frame, you know, you fall out of your system, and you fucking break the rules and you fucking text this girl more than you probably should. But she's vibing, you guys are good, you know, she's flirting with you all fucking day, and guess what? That same fucking girl is gonna ghost your ass tomorrow when it's time for a date. And I swear to God, that's how it fucking works. So, and I'm sure a lot of you know that too. That's how it fucking works. It's all bullshit, man. So have a system, keep your texts minimal, and within 3-5 texts, transfer her over to your number, because that's another test, you know, to see where she's at, how she's gonna relate to you. So that's our main lessons. This video's over. I want to keep it as concise as I can, and I could have made it more concise than that, but what the fuck ever. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go by those rules. Do not break your rules, no matter how good looking she is, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care. We're gonna stick to our structure. We're gonna stick to our system. We're gonna stick to our frame, and we're gonna keep it that way. That's how you play the game. That's how you do it. Okay, and that goes for every other angle in your life. If you do that, You're going to be successful. You're going to be ahead of the game. Do not break your own fucking rules. It's called discipline. And one thing I've learned recently is, you know, the time of regret, you know, the severity of it increases over time. The pain of discipline, that lessens with time. Okay, so the pain of it to be in our structure and our discipline, doing big boy things, yes, it's painful, but guess what? It lessens over time. We get more successful. We get more synergized with discipline, that it's not so painful for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's actually really easy. But the pain of regret from not doing what you should be doing, it's going to only increase over time, as opposed to the pain of discipline that is only going to lessen over time. So that's the difference, right? The pain of regret increases over time. The pain of discipline lessens over time. So it's an interesting way to think about it, but you think it's so painful and hard to have discipline? Just shut the hell up, man. Just do it. It's really not that painful. You're overthinking it. And in the end, you're going to get results. All right, have a good one. Goodbye.